Hi, today I want to give you an overview of what we've been working on for the past months and the progress we've made on the Sensorbox and Sensorgate. So what we have here is a prototype of our wireless Sensorbox. This carries a 10 Hz GPS unit, a range of inertial sensors for measuring boat acceleration and rotation and orientation and these kind of things. And it has a Wi-Fi integrated as well, so that's what we use to transmit the data from the sensor box to the smartphones and to the coach following behind in the motorboat. This one has been beaten up pretty well. We've had it in drop tests and with a few crews on a training camp for a few weeks, so that's why it looks that way. Over here we have the USB port for charging and attaching an impeller. But the impeller remains optional. There's a battery included and it lasts for about 10 hours. So now let's actually start connecting to the sensor box and attach a gate. So what we have over here is a wireless sensor gate prototype. So this one has been used in the lab for a couple of weeks. It's not at all what the final product is going to look like, but it's a version that allows us to test the electronics and test the measurements. So the idea with the sensor gate really is that it's a replacement for a standard oar lock. So what we would do is you just unscrew the old one, put the new one in, set a 0 angle, and that's only a one-time calibration that you have to do, and that's it. So once you've installed it in the boat, you can effectively leave it on and use it in every exercise if you want to. But even swapping the gates in and out is just an operation that takes 2 minutes per gate at most, so it's very, very easy to do. So what I'm going to do now is we connect the smartphone to the sensor box. So the first screen that comes up is configuring the boat. So what we want to do is either we can reuse the previous configuration or make a new one. So let's do a new one and say, okay, we have a single. And what I need to do now, because the gates are wireless, we need to tell the software basically where each gate sits. So we're going to turn on the gate. Give me a second. Okay, so we turn it on. So we see there it has found the gate. So now we tell it, okay, so this one is on port side, and then we're ready to go. So now we're connected to the sensor box. There's all the usual screens with time and stroke rate and all that. There's boat acceleration, and we have a couple of screens here that show the raw sensor output. That's likely not useful for the final product, but it basically shows that all the different sensors in there are fully working, and so this is what we've been working with in the past few weeks to collect raw data and see if the measurements taken up and refining the algorithms that we put in there. The next screen there, that's for the gate. So let's just see the data for seat 1 basically. That's where we configured it. If we had configured a pair or something, we'd see all the seats here and can select which to display in the graph. So I'm gonna leave this one here. So, and this is the gate there. And if we apply a bit of pressure, we can see the data going through basically. So this is basically what we have working at the moment. It's in testing with a couple of crews. The sensor box is almost ready. We're awaiting a few final tests.